Hello and good evening, one and all, to what is round 7 of the oNiD QRT Multi-Class Team Cup here in the Belgian countryside of Spa-Francorchamps. In the comms booth with me this evening, enjoying a bit of waffle and whatever fancy food the Belgian people have. It's Ben Myatt, and good evening, Ben. A bit of a change of voice this evening.
Yes, well, there's certainly plenty of waffle going on around here, isn't there?
There's always waffle. We're always waffling, aren't we?
It's one of our more prescient skills, yes. Yeah, it's good to be back on for another weekend. We've got another great night's worth of racing. If it's anything like the last one, it should be good fun to watch.
It should be indeed. After 7 rounds, let's just quickly touch base with the standings after 6 rounds. So we are including the results with any drop rounds may have occurred. Lukoil Racing Esports 471 points leading away for the team standings in GT3 class, with Fear Nothing Motor in second, Fry Guys Motorsport in third, F&M Barger in fourth, and F&M GT3 2 in fifth, Fry Guys 6th, Racing Stronger 7th, Throwback to Not Far Sorry, that's a team, 8th, oNiD RS, Prototypo Racing in 9th, and Apex Driving School in 10th for the GT3s, and VAR 7 GT4 teams. Connexus leading away by quite a substantial margin. Very similar gap between them and what is first and second in GT3. Sherlock Racing Stronger in second, Walkers is third, Apex Driving School fourth, oNiD Racing 5th and 6th, and Red Bulls Racing GT4 in 7th. The individual driver standings, however, look a lot closer. Not much to separate these guys. David Grain's F&M in first, Gregory Ivanov in second, Elmar Kerpenov in third. Second and third, I believe, are the Lukoil Ferraris. Matt High fourth, Timothy Jabal 5th, Buckley 6th, Thomas Angelo 7th, Michael Formato 8th, Janlek 9th, and Robert van Oostelen in 10th. GT4s again looking quite tightly patched. Shahibi in first with Ben Brown second, Hoffman third, Martin Fort fourth, Matt Jordan 5th, Aidan Oak 6th, Tomlinson 7th, Sherlock 8th, Johnny Ashley 9th. Though I'm not going to see much more of Johnny Ashley sadly at this point. If you are not in Discord, Bossman himself has buggered his leg, so won't be driving. Oh, well, yeah, pretty much. He's in a cast, isn't he? So, losing that, so I don't think he'll be driving. But Alex Parkin bring up the final place in the top 10 for GT4. So, all still to play for, really, within tonight's championship with 2 rounds to go.
It is indeed. You know what we are missing, though, Aidan, or what I'm missing in particular?
What?
You haven't shared the pictures with me yet.
Oh, yeah.
That'd probably be helpful.
That would be, wouldn't it?
But it is going to be a wet night in Spa. Apparently the server setting, it was always intended to be a wet race. Apparently the practice server wasn't wet. But now these guys are going to have to get used to facing the spray as they go through.
Yes, indeed. Let's go to live pictures of the circuit. We are underway in qualifying as it stands. I do believe we're just going to try and figure out who would be first on the lap. And they're just finishing their flying laps in the wet rain on Spa. I think it's Formato. F&M will be finishing his first lap, and we'll see what benchmark he sets if he comes to the line.
The F&M NSXs were very fast last week. I'm not sure whether the BOP has been updated since last week, but the NSX had a substantial amount of weight taken off.
Yes. Oh goodness, it was like a full car lighter, really.
Yes, around here where top end is very, very key to how well a lap goes.
Yeah.
It's that's slightly outside the white lines though. I think they were coming to a stop there.
I think so too. I don't think he's going to get away with that one.
Yeah, as I was rambling, round here where top end is very, very key, it could benefit them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like it has. Gran is straight up into the 227s at the top of the timing sheet.
Yeah, spot on. Hondas are showing well here. I think that BOP is really helping a bit. Maybe a bit too biased towards the Hondas around a circuit like this.
I like the Honda, I've got to admit.
I
I mean, you know me, I'm an Aston and a Bentley man, but I do quite like the NSX. It's a very good-looking car,
It is.
especially with a wing on it.
Yes. No, absolutely. However, I must say, in terms of sector times, the Aston here at the minute, myself, Mr. Matt High, Fry Guys Motorsport, does hold the fastest sector 1 for anyone on circuits at set a time as it stands. So that straight liney kind of ability may be just balanced out.
That ability to push up.
Yeah.
The Aston's another one that's very good at pushing to the top end, skating around on those curbs. Though I'm not sure that's done their lap time any favours.
Well, it might have not done, but it's still valid. They haven't taken enough curve for it to invalidate the lap, so you will stick with it to go through these couple of fast left handers easily flat in the dry and the wet. They're going to have to be a bit more tentative.
The tail's wagging a bit. You can see the rear wanting to step out on these wet corners. They drop down through the gears for the final chicane.
Indeed, he will. Gets the power down. It's going to be a good lap. There you go. It is a very good lap.
Very good lap, even with that skatey moment on the curbs.
Superb. Purple sector 1 and 2.
It's looking very sketchy round Spa this evening.
That is. And that is a good time. But look at that. Kurbanov jumps up to pole.
That's in the team Lucor Racing Esports. Ferrari there. It's a tighter margin, but it's when it comes to pole position, you don't need to do it by seconds. You just need to do it by a small amount.
I can't wait for these guys to get racing. I might be biased. Qualifying is one thing. It's good to see them duke out times, but
the F&M McLaren's on the track, back on track there. A lot of guys leaving the pits.
Getting back out again. Last runs. We do have, as you say about F&M McLaren's, do have one on a lap, a very good lap. Goes up into 7th.
Is the full pit lane as well, which is going to be interesting for people.
Yeah, it's going to hurt if you need to make a pit stop.
Long old pit stop.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll watch out for these guys. They do need to make a pit stop tonight, I do believe.
Yep, tyre pit stop.
Indeed. No fuel, just tyres. So,
the FAH05 in the chat pointing out that it's going to be very difficult for the GT4s going into Eau Rouge blinded by the spray the GT3s have kicked up.
It will be, yeah. I think Josh is just going to back out on outlap here, so let's see who else is improving. Formato is at the minute, I think this is an outlap. Although if it is an outlap, he's doing a really good lap because he's half a second up on his best time.
It took a little bit of the inside curb there. Put him slightly wide, but I think he's recovered it fine there. I would say the NS. I know I was saying I like the NSX, but it's like, to me, it's like Porsche and Lamborghinis. No, that's definitely an invalidated lap there.
Yes.
It's one of those cars that doesn't look right unless it's got a rear wing on it. It's like an Aston looks grand even without a rear wing. The McLaren looks fine without a rear wing. BMW does. Porsches, Lamborghinis, and the NSX, they don't look right without the rear wing to me.
Can't unsee that now. Oh dear. Right, let's go back down the order a little bit. Buckley, who was... That was Matt High, his teammate actually set a good time, I stand corrected, but Matt's teammate, Christian Buckley for Fry Guys Motorsport, still trying to find a bit of time. He is on a good lap. A slight improvement. We will just stick with him as he goes through onto the back straight. Again, usually flat, but in the wet, struggling.
Yeah, they're pushing hard. They'll have had to ramp up the downforce, but under Spa, not typically a high downforce circuit. But to cope with these conditions, they'll have had to ramp it right up, and that will be affecting them.
That was a downshift.
Struggling for grip.
Look at
God,
that.
they're absolutely scrabbling.
That going through the fast fast left-hander there in the final sector, you're downshifting in the wet. It's usually flat, but just goes to show how much of a change people are having to make here in how they drive the circuit. But gets Buckley up into 6th, 1.3 seconds still to find, with less than, just over 3 minutes, should I say, until the GT3's allotted time in qualifying is over, and then we'll see the
what you can do.
the GT4s.
Mm-hmm.
Right, who else is on an improvement? Let's go down to Ralph Vest, Apex Driving School. If my data is correct, is finding 0.8 of a second.
Big chunk of time to find in this. It won't take... No, it will take him up. I was telling a lie. It's about 5/10 off Petr Jelinek in front of him. So that will jump him up.
Potentially 7th or 6th.
Around Formato there.
It will. We'll give that commentator's class. He just lost time there going through that right-hander.
Yeah. He's coming to the really troublesome parts of the circuit now. Everyone seems to be struggling through this fast section. Yeah, you say Formato, I say Formato.
Tomato.
Let's call the whole thing off. I'm so sorry.
I'm usually the bad one on this combo, Ben. Come on.
I've not had much sleep today. Bear with me, please.
8th position for Ralph Vest. Not quite getting up to 7th or 6th from Formato and Buckley. Formato. Ah, you can do it now.
Yeah.
You sod. Jesus Christ. Right, Berkeley Electo Team. That's a name I've got to try and get my head around.
Barclay, I think that would be.
Barclay
El Cato. That's a... Yeah. Let's go with that.
What you said, Ben. He's currently
Nick in the pink Porsche.
In the
Pinky
pink
purple.
Porsche. Indeed. Half a second up on his lap time as he goes through into this final sector of the lap, which is pretty much reasonably flat. Again, as we're saying, in the wet conditions, they're having to lift for potentially part of it, especially right here. We jump on board.
Lifting as they go through.
Yes, it slowed reasonably well.
Very cautious on the downshifts there.
It was, yeah.
Normally you come into that corner very late and bang down through the gears. But he's making sure he's got plenty of time to get the car slowed before he has to turn in.
Exactly. 4th position there for Nick Manders.
So
does improve.
Big jump. Only 6/10 off the top spot.
It's very much best for the rest at the minute. I can tell you the top 3 are all on lap times. We'll jump with Kurbanov first. He's going to be the first one to come to the line. Ivanov was on a lap. He has just invalidated. But Kurbanov is going very quickly. This will be a 2:26, but it'll be a quicker 2:26. 2:26.7.
They are just... It's got to the point where they're trading temps and they're trying to find everything they can around this circuit. But it's so hard to find pace when it's, tipping it down.
It is, and this is going to be close with Matt High. He's going to get to the line. He's lost time on exit. He was 0.3 of a second up, but I think he just lost
out before the line there.
Yeah, that was going to be extremely close between those guys.
It is GT4 quali time, I believe.
It is. He's still got some GT3s on a lap. GT3s on a lap, should I say? Yeah, 4 of them. I was about to say 3 GT4s, but no, 4 GT3s. There we go. I'll get my words right. David Grains doesn't improve. The next one to come to the line will be Josh Grush. So he goes through the final chicane.
Comes through, runs to the line.
Up to 12th.
Does improve. A couple of places.
Indeed he does. There's 2 more cars. Petrojelek followed reasonably closely, not too far behind him, is Wilbert Van Oostenden.
Ooh, Petrojelek taking a lot of curb there. Very risky in this weather.
It is indeed, as goes through the final chicane. Is it going to be an improvement? It is. 1 position.
Yep. It's all going to count on that run down into Eau Rouge.
It is indeed. Coming to the line is Van Oostenden. And again, finds that 1 position up into the top 10. And for the GT3s, that's qualifying done and dusted. Now our focus turns to GT4s. In the chat this evening, Vela, good evening. Apex Specs, good evening. And Tiger Hoffman's swear would be so bad at the start of the Rust GT4s. We're going to Eau Rouge blinded by the GT3 spray. Yes, you will be.
Read that one earlier.
I did you. Whoopsies. And that's why I have a co-commentator.
To show you up, apparently.
Yeah, totally, like big time.
Yeah, I'm wondering which of these GT4s is actually going to have the advantage here. The McLaren's very good, but the Ginetta's very nimble. But I can imagine it'd be a touch skatey in this weather. But the weather is the great equaliser and may take away from that top speed advantage that the Ginny that disadvantage that the Ginny has. The Aston could be. I genuinely don't know.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm not sure how well the Chevy's going to do, I've got to admit.
No. I mean, either brave or stupid.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone is glad that no one invested in the Maserati this time round.
Yeah.
Imagine going out here with no TC and no ABS in this.
No thank you.
Yep, that can get in the sea.
And get in the bin. As Tiger Hoffman's, I think, will actually be the first GT4 to settle that. Let's jump on board, shall we? Let's go on the bonnet cam.
The ghostly wipers coming through our faces.
Yeah, let's do that one instead. There we go. That's a bit better.
Following through. Tell you what, it's definitely the budget steering wheel you get in the GT4 McLaren, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
The flashy F1-alike one in the GT3, and then it's just a Momo with a branded logo on it in this one. I bet they charge you 400 quid for the branded logo as well.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Bang it down to 30. You can see Hoffman soaring at the wheel to try and keep the car stable.
Relying on that traction control, isn't he?
So careful of the throttle coming out of Piff Bath.
Yeah.
So much the sort of hand motions you see a rally driver making.
Yeah.
Rondo's wet conditions will help the Ginetta maxes out on the Camel in the dry. I was having this thought it might equalise the performance a bit.
Yeah, that is our running theory. So we'll see what they can do. The Ginettas, Parkin, Prescott, Tomlinson. Keep an eye on their laps. However, Hoffman's will be the first GT4 to come to line. It will set the benchmark time for everyone else to try and beat. It's going to be a 2 minute 38.
That's what, about 11 seconds off the GT3 pace?
Yes, 11 or 12 seconds.
Not a huge difference around.
It's not.
It's going to take a while for the GT3s to come round and lap them.
60-minute race as well. It's going to be quite close. They'll definitely lap them.
Yeah, but I'm not sure we're going to see them blazing past early on the way we usually do.
No, exactly. The pit stops, however, with the long pit lane will help.
Yeah. But then the GT3s are going to have the same pit stops. Going to be going at the same speed through there.
Yeah, absolutely. So an interesting one.
So it's going to drop them in amongst each other very late on into stints.
It will do. Yeah. Yeah, big time. It's going to be an interesting race, that's for sure. We'll keep
definitely.
an eye on that and just see who's doing what, where, and when, basically. But for now,
I think the Aston might sort of be in the same boat as the Ginetta. It's going to be very, very good in these conditions.
Well, I'm sticking with Alex Shahibi here because although Tyler Hoffmans is leading as it stands, Shahibi is going quick enough to start challenging for that pole position in class.
Aston's looking very, very composed as it goes around the fast parts of the circuit.
It's going to be close. We'll stick with this lap. He's 0.7 of a second up. He needs at least 0.9 of a second. Let's see if you can find it going through here. You can find time with having to brake and actually slow the car down. You actually find time in some of these corners in the wet where you wouldn't really be able to because it's usually flat out. Let's the car slow down for 5 chicane. Oh, he's found 4/10 through there.
Very smooth through the chicane there. Shahabi comes up to the line.
It's going to be a good lap. It's going to be pole.
Absolutely. By quite a margin as well. 2/10 there.
2-minute 38.632. Compared to Tiger Hoffman's 2-minute 38.8. The car's coming to the line as we speak. Next one will be Mr. Greg Prescott. Now, we said we'd keep an eye on the Ginettas. For now, there's one in third. Greg is about to come across the line. Behind him is Alex Parker. He's on a stonker on a lap, actually. 1.8 seconds up on his best time.
And that gets him up to 24th, so that's 6th in class. 6th. 6th. That's going well. These are all very fightable positions. In this weather, it's going to give people the chance to fight with each other.
Indeed. Thorpe gets
That's
the line.
exactly what we want out of a race, really.
Absolutely. Thorpe gets the line, however, up to third. 238.937. Top 3 GT4s. The only cars so far set times in the 2-minute 38s.
Yep, and it's McLaren Aston. The big cruisers are coming into their own in this weather.
Surprised the Mercedes isn't further up, to be perfectly honest. But as we said, rain the great equaliser.
I would have expected that. The Mercedes, as I recall, is carrying a lot of ballast, and with the rain equalising performance, it's going to be that's going to very much hamper them.
Oh, excuse me. A sip of water. There we go. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see these guys fight out. And there's a very good point raised by Hoffmans. He said that in the Twitch chat that they'll be following the GT3s into the spray, so it's going to be doubly challenging for these guys to try and get their way through.
There's a name we've not seen in a long time. Tim Bob has appeared in the chat.
Tim Bob, boo! Ah! That's such a bad joke. I'm sorry, Tim. Good evening.
Truly awful.
I'm putting you all to shame tonight, Ben. Let's be honest. You may be tired, but I've got the dad jokes all lined up.
Exhausted, mate. Got up at 7 o'clock this morning, and on a Sunday, I'm not equipped to deal with such things.
I got up quarter to 7.
It's not a competition, Aidan.
I had to get to the doctors, didn't I?
On a Sunday, yeah.
Well, I had to get to the walk-in centre to have a needle stuck in my arm, didn't I? No, yeah, fun.
And no.
No.
Hang on. Oh, no, it wasn't you. I was saying no out there.
Oh, wifey.
No.
No. Random.
There
There we go.
Sorry, I've not used the mod view before.
There we go. No, I've just noticed.
Yep. Cheap viewers on whatever. Bye.
Bye-bye. They have a 7 a.m. on a Sunday? No, I woke up at 7 to get to the walk-in centre at 8 a.m. for a walk-in blood test.
Oh.
And I got one at 8:30, I have you know. Had the blood test, went back to bed for 2 hours. So hardy ha ha ha.
I love the fact that bot was offering us cheap viewers. We got all ours for free.
I know, right? It's hard work, man. We'll take it. No, not the cheap viewers. The viewers that we have. For God's sake. Shaheed on an app.
It's like drinking.
Great way just to instantly alienate all of our loyal viewers.
Tell you what, Shahabi's only a 10th and a half off Hoffman's here.
And he's on a lap which is seeing him 3/10 better.
We missed you too, Tim. It's going to be these two fighting for the lead, I suspect.
Oh, it might be if the Aston didn't go sideways through that fast right-hander. He saves it though. He's still up.
He is still going. How the heck is... He has unlocked the drift. The power of the drift.
You can hear them shifting down through there. It's normally flat. It's just insane.
Oh, through there.
Gets onto the brakes, it's going to be mighty close. He's lost time through that fast left-hander.
Yeah, I think he had to back out there, doesn't...
But he finds it all again on exit. This is going to be pole. As he comes to the line, 2:38.3.
Oh, good grief. That is less than... What was that? 500ths.
4800ths on a second.
That's ridiculous.
Holy Jesus.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
Tiger Hoffman's is on a lap. It will be his last lap, but at the minute, early on in the lap, he is 0.2 of a second up on his best. Tim, we've missed you too. You know you have.
You're right, Vala. Our free viewers are much better than the cheap ones they were offering.
Hell yeah, boy. Apex, well, we are cheap too. No. You're loyal, that's what you are.
Oh, Hoffman's kicking the tail out there through the through Blanchimont. I'm not sure he's trying for time here or whether he's just having fun.
Bit of both, I think, potentially.
That McLaren is looking very drifty.
It is just a drifty GT4 though. It's not the most stable.
True.
And in the wet, it's...
It's a bit like me, unstable and drifts a lot.
Yeah.
You had to say it, did you?
I'm just trying to think of the context of how you mean it.
Yes. But,
yeah. You poor soul.
Let's see what... So it comes through Piff Path there.
He's lost time through that couple of corners.
It's the big traction zones he seems to be losing out. So we've seen the tail wagging a bit as the car goes through the corners.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think when he's trying to put it down, I wonder if he's struggling for downforce. With whatever's wrong.
Yeah, he's lost so much time. He's now 2/10 down.
Yeah. If you lose going into this area, you're going to be losing the whole way down to that last chicane.
Sadly so, indeed. And GT4 and doesn't invalidate. Almost an invalidation by the looks of it. Finds time through that final chicane, but it's pretty much equal to his best lap, and then loses it again all on exit. So Hoffman sees a checker flag. It's going to be P2 for him. I'm looking at the times. No one else improving significantly enough to challenge for that top position.
Not necessarily a bad place to be, Peter. I think it puts you on the outside line into Eau Rouge,
It does.
which you can find a lot of pace there.
That is
But I've got a
very
suspicion we
true.
might see a few drivers having to bail across the inside curbs in Eau Rouge tonight.
Yeah. Oh, and Aidan Oaken validates on the last corner. He was
Unlucky.
1.4 seconds up on his time, which would have been challenging for top 4. That is a mighty shame. So you wait for the final 2 GT4 cars to finish their laps. It's going to be Prescott first of all, who is finding time.
In the Happy Ginny.
In the Happy Ginny.
Happiest looking car I know.
Can't improve, sadly.
Backs off before the line.
Yeah, and one last car to see the checker flag. It will be Swinkles. But invalidates. And that, folks, is that for qualifying. So you do await the server just to move over to the starting grid, and then we will give you our grid rundown for this penultimate round of the Multi-Class Team Cup. Ben?
Don't ask me to make a prediction because I'm not going to be able to.
There
is way too many factors involved in this.
I was going to ask, but never mind.
But it's going to be... There's going to be a... I don't think the race is going to be decided on this run down to turn 1, but it's certainly going to be a factor.
Yeah, absolutely. Shall we do a grid rundown, Ben?
Oh, we might as well.
Oh, you do tempt me, dearest. Pole position for Lukoil Racing Esports, it's Kurbanov, followed by his teammates as Lukoil Racing Esports 1-2. For the GT3 cars, Gregory Ivanov taking second position. Third, Matt High in fourth position. It's Manders. Fifth place is the first of the Fear Nothing Moto. David Grains. Buckley in sixth position. F&M Honda in seventh. Petr Genelec in eighth position. Ralph Vest in ninth. Van Oosenen in 10th. Fry Guys Prototype Racing in 11th. Josh Grush in 12th, followed by his teammate in 13th and 14th as well. I'll click on the right one. It's another of the F&M McLarens. So 12th, 13th, and 14th for those guys. 15th is Noel Doige, Lipozenchik in P16. P17 is Tas Angelo. And last place in the GT3s is Terrell Hubbard. Then we get onto the GT4 class. Your pole sitter, Alex Shahibi, getting in a good lap time there. Tycho Hoffman's in second. Thorpe in third. Daniel Tomlinson in fourth. The Chevy.
That's going to be a experience in this weather.
Yeah, it is. Of Jordan is fifth. Sixth, Ben Brown. Luke Sherlock, seventh. Teammates there for Luke Sherlock Automotive, Racing Stronger oNiD. Aidan Oak in 8th, Park in 9th. 10th is Greg Prescott. Sprinkles 11th. They bring up the rear in the Apex Driving School AMR GT4 is Rayshawn Thompson.
If anyone is wondering, who are not regular viewers, are wondering why there are penalties already going on for these guys, these are success penalties. The higher up in the championship, the more you take a penalty at your pit stop to similar to British GT rules, I believe, where you have to do a little bit extra time in your pit stop.
Yeah, spot on. So not only do we have the balance of performance ballast, we also have the success penalties to bring the leaders back into touch with potentially the midfield and the rest of the field as well in each class. So Shahibi in pole is currently top of the Drivers' Championship. He's got 20 seconds. Thorpe's got 10 in GT4s. He's second, and who in third? I can't quite remember without scrolling down. But same here as well. Kurbanov is currently leading Championship with David Grains second in Championship and Jadable third in the Championship. So they are getting 20, 10 and 5 second penalties respectively, even before they start the race.
A lot of extra time they have to make up. So there's going to be a certain amount of consolidation of points positions, I suspect, this evening.
Yeah.
So we shall see what people can do, because they're going to have to build in that pit stop time and the extra 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Or however much they have.
Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. And it's gonna be it's a long pit lane. It's a full endurance pit lane, so they've got to go down the new pit lane, make a right. Usually would exit on the just after the apex of turn 1, but they have to go down the secondary pit lane and re-enter the track after El Rouge and Radion El Rouge and
interminable is the only way I can describe it. It takes so long to get out of this pit lane.
It's painful. It's painfully long. I think you'd rather hack your own hand off than have to go down to that pit lane unnecessarily.
100%. Unless the car is trying to go completely sideways, you're going to be letting anything go. Any damage you pick up, unless it's completely undrivable, you do not want to be on that pit lane if you don't have to be.
Yeah, spot on. Right, Ben, I'm gonna make a bet with you.
Hi. I'm having a good full run on bets today. Feel free.
I know you are. I heard your cheeky £50 win. GT3 should I say, teammates on P1 and P2 to take themselves out on the first lap.
Ooh. Do you think Kurbanov and Ivanov are going to clatter first lap?
It's wet and it's Spa. I don't...
It's very possible.
In normal conditions, I'd say no. Anything can happen.
I'm not sure I'd take odds on that, to be honest.
No, I don't want to make odds, to be perfectly honest. We want to see a clean race, let's all be fair. But,
it is going to be very difficult for any driver tonight, and that's a lot. That's a big old pile of cars going into one corner there.
Yeah.
I mean, Eau Rouge is usually flat out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them having to brake in this weather to avoid being slung off the side.
Yeah. Definitely going to be interesting. Let's get them all in 2x2 as they go through the final corner. Now, bear in mind, they don't start the race here. They finish the race at this line. They start the race, however, on the secondary start-finish line on the second part of the pit straight.
The endurance starts. So it's makes sense. There's not as much room to get a rolling start done here, but it does mean they've all got to negotiate the source first.
Yeah. We'll see what happens as the GT3s have now gone past turn 1 and they're coming down to the start-finish line. Who's it going to be? Kurbanov and Ivanov on pole. Luko Racing Esports 1 and 2. Manders and Hein behind.
Everyone behaving very, very well there.
Indeed, but that's about to go out the window. So we now go green for 60 minutes of a wet Spa-Francorchamps. And they go down to El Rouge and Kurbanov leads away. Behind them, Manders and High fighting away as they go out through El Rouge. Apart from that, they look all to get relatively cleanly through it. No one dropping down the orders as it stands. They are trading positions, however, but I think everyone's relatively got through well okay. The two Ferraris have already gapped the P3.
I wonder if they are explicitly working together, to be honest, because it looked like they were very, very prepared for that start, and Ivanov just slotted straight in behind Kurbanov without even looking to contest.
Yeah, absolutely. You do wonder if a cheeky bit of team orders there is helping him get through that turn 1 cleanly. I might have just lost a bet to you there, Ben. I'm glad I didn't say go for it.
That would have kept my record going today.
Is slight contact between some cars that we are seeing, but nothing horrible that's causing people to drop down the order. I think it's just some gentle door banging and harsh fighting.
Everyone being very careful. I think there's probably probably the driving equivalent of harsh language going on here.
Yeah,
but the
absolutely.
FNM NSXs trying to fight their way through, going round the outside of the Porsche there.
Yeah, but there's a random GT3 going very wide through
Once I
P1.
get wide.
R231. Let's quickly see if we can get a replay of that. And indeed we do. Does he just go wide of his own accord? No, there's a touch!
Oh, there's a touch and he's around. Lightest of touches, but in this weather that doesn't, it doesn't matter how light it is, you're going journey. And he's now back among the GT4s and having to fight his way through.
No, absolutely.
But these two are breaking away at the end of the first lap here.
1.6 seconds is the gap between the top 2 and P3 of Matt High, and the leaders getting away well and gapping. But in the background, however, fight for P4 and 5.
Runners on the outside going into the source. Very difficult move to do. But Manders runs deep.
Yeah, at least 2 positions. The BMW off in the background as well. That was Van Ooselen is dropping positions.
It's all mistakes people are making largely on their own here. We've had one incident, which I'm sure the stewards are looking at.
Indeed, oh god, cutting the top of El Rouge there. Or was that Radion?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
it's fine.
The big fast corner that goes uphill, left and right, left, right.
McLaren, the F&M's looking to pull a bit of a Hackett and Schumacher with the BM with Van Ooselen in front of them.
Indeed. Oh, there's a bit of a love tap there in the background. Oh, that's one of the F&M drivers around. That's Angelo.
Oh, and he's spinning in place, and he's going to have to wait.
He's going to have to wait for those GT4s to go past him, sadly.
I think, however, one of his teammates was about to clatter him there.
Oh, was that Formato by any chance?
Yeah.
I think Formato's dropped. So I think there has been contact. We're seeing a replay of how he ended up the wrong way round.
Dropped it on the edge here.
Oh.
Well, let's see if we get that. Yeah, that was like the moment before chaos was due to happen there.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get a look at a 231. I think it was just contact. I think he just spun by himself. There was his teammate, and he got on the curb. And goes spinning and goes, doink, I'm going to join you here as well.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been. I thought he was on for a full-on T-bone there.
Yeah. At least it wasn't a messy rejoin, it was just salt to the wound, basically.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That's sort of that sigh and get on with it sort of moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
No, nothing either of them can do, really.
No, well, no, but...
We've just completely ruined the That was a bit of a little tap on the right corner, back left corner by Manders there.
That was a love tap if I ever seen one.
Yeah, I think Buckley would not be feeling perfectly well disposed to him for that one.
No, exactly. As looks to try and close, can't do anything about it as of yet. As we jump on the rear wing of Christian Buckley with the Porsche hunting them down.
Oh, and the Jeep and the Aston pulling away in the initial traction phase, but now the Porsche has the slipstream, so Manders is going to come back at him. Both of them being quite liberal with the exit curve at the top of Eau Rouge there.
They haven't invalidated their laps, so the game hasn't pinged them for it. Oh, it's another left tap!
Yep. Oh.
And they need to be careful.
I'm just keeping an eye out the corner of my eyes because I think there is going to be stewarding action incoming.
Uh-oh. Do update us when we see penalties, dearest Ben.
Yep, absolutely.
But in the first instance, what is fantastic is Toro Motorsports is now following. Thank you very much, good sir. You join us just at the start of this 1 hour race at a very wet Spa-Francorchamps. And we've had quite a surprisingly peaceful start to the race.
Dr. Montague, yep, absolutely great racecraft from these guys. They all being very, very careful.
We'll jump with the Apex driver score McLaren and getting losing position there to Lipizenchik. It's not going to work for him. Going there, but 52.
And here we go. 52. It is going to be a 30-second penalty.
Oh,
that is for that incident with the 231 NSX of Famato, who's after he was dropped down to the back of the field after Peter Janet got into the back of him.
let's see if we can get a. It was this replay, wasn't it? Here going into.
That's the one.
Yeah. So this is what the 30-second penalty is for. Taps him round and then.
Yeah, you can't really argue that one.
No, you can't. Not at all, really. Sadly.
You can't. I mean, you also can't argue it because the fact we don't allow appeals on live stewarded nights.
Huzzah. So that's going to be 30 seconds. He's going to serve in his pit stop. Folks, for those who are new to watching this series, when you do get a penalty, you serve it in your pit stop. You can't serve it in your pit stop if you don't have a mandatory pit stop to serve a penalty in. It will be added to the time at the end of the race. Said that without stuttering too much.
Nearly got there, yeah. To reiterate, if you have a penalty, you will serve it in your mandatory pit stop.
What you said.
If you've already taken your pit stop, it will be added to your time at the end of the race.
Could not have said it better myself.
you actually didn't.
I didn't.
Oh, that's slight little shoulder, bit of hip and shoulder from Nick Manders there.
That's a bit of a dive, I think. Let's go back to it. That's on the brakes.
On the instant he's been fighting with. I only got most of the move done, but he was just carrying too much speed to get turned in.
Cheeky.
Right, we have. Keeping an eye out, there are more penalties incoming from the looks of it.
Glorious. Right, shall we just quickly check in with the GT4s here, because
yes,
Alex Shahibi in the lead from Daniel Tomlinson. 1.6 seconds is the gap between Tomlinson and himself in first.
Angelo trying to carve his way through this pack now as well.
Indeed he is. Oh, very briefly off circuit.
Actually having a little fight with the Ginetta there.
Wasn't it? When the Ginetta's got to run back on him.
It's coming back to him.
Very, very briefly.
Yeah.
It's Shahibi, Tomlinson, Hoffman's third. A close battle between him and Ben Brown in fourth. A good start for Ben, who is slightly further down the order in the GT4 class.
Yep, last week's winner at Monza, but now having to fight back in the wet. And here we go, penalties incoming. 5 seconds for car number 536 for forcing a car off track in lap 1.
Yeah, I recall what that was. So I think we did get that on the stream.
Yeah.
As we have a spinner, I think Ollie Knowles has had an incident. Who's that dropping down the order? No, maybe not. Maybe it's just my timing stream wigging out a little bit.
And here we go. The next one is 10 seconds for car 112. So that is Nick Doidge, and that is for forcing a car off track on lap 2. Noel Doidge, rather.
Noel Doidge. Oh, excuse me.
A few penalties being handed out for people pushing their luck.
Yes. WVO got hit. Wilbert Van Oosten, I believe you're referring to in Twitch chat there. Quite potentially.
Yep, he is down in P15 in the BMW. Got a little bit of space around him. He's got a couple of seconds back to the Pajantic. I apologise for my pronunciation. I'm not sure what that was.
I don't know either. Don't worry, mine is just as bad.
Yours is legendary.
You're being too generous.
in that it should be buried and left alone for thousands of years.
There we go.
Welcome.
Just like the Babylonians. I was waiting for that. Well, I don't want to curse it, Ben. I'm going to say something.
They're looking a bit settled, aren't they?
They are. I'm glad you said it, not me, because if things go sideways, I'm going to blame you.
Still 13 minutes to the pits opening. So these guys need to settle in because all these guys with penalties are going to get shuffled down through the pack.
They are indeed, and that's when the fun begins.
It's what's going to be interesting. They've got a 5-minute pit slot each. It's going to be you're going to have to take it almost immediately.
Yeah.
Because if you go past the pits, you're going to have to go around the whole long lap to get back. And then you're not going to have any margin to take a couple of laps to get your pit stop done.
No, exactly. It's such a long pit lane. That's the thing. If you get caught out at the wrong time, the pit window opens just as you pass pit entry here. And you're a little bit buggered.
Yeah, long pit lane and long lap as well.
Yeah.
So if you go past the pit entrance, you've got to go around this very long circuit and get back to it.
Yeah, I think the undercut will be quite powerful here.
Yeah, I think you've got weather reports, haven't you? I don't think there's any sign of this rain letting up.
I can't see it. I can't see it on my end.
Well, I have to hope then. Sam crashing 3, 2, 1.
Sam.
Not too many yet, to be honest.
Haven't seen any big crashes. Little ones, and mostly people giving themselves issues, let's say. I have yet to see a massive incident.
Yeah, we had that tap to the rear from who was this? It was Jelinek on Formato, and that's been the biggest one we've had so far.
Yeah. Oh, that's a moment for Jad Bordeaux!
Oh, that was very odd. And he's rear into the barrier there. What on earth happened there?
Let's have a look. Goes through the turn. I think gets the power down. Curb.
Yeah, gets one driven wheel on the curb as well. It's a light bump. I don't think he'll have taken too much wing damage.
Car looks
Hopefully
okay.
he should be able to hold on to the pit window.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's already he is carrying a 10-second penalty, and that is the success penalty, I believe.
He has lost one position. Was following Petr Janelek. Ralph Vess has taken a position from him. In the background, however, his teammates are fighting away. McLeod and Grush, both of them in the McLaren cars.
Yep, all 3 McLarens in for Fear Nothing Moto out today.
So you jump on board with Josh. Thinks they're making a move up the inside. No, thinks better of it.
These 2 in their own race. It's like, wonder if the papaya orders are coming into play today.
No F1 spoilers.
Is that a spoiler? I wouldn't say.
I mean, a certain admin will have your head off for that if he's listening in.
The thrilling race that I fell asleep in.
Yeah, me too. Fell asleep, then woke up to the podium. Oh, shit did happen. Whoopsie doodles. And whoopsie doodles me swearing on stream.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God it's for adult viewing only.
Yeah. Right, we have more penalties coming in. That's a 5-second penalty for car 91, I believe.
Car 91.
And that is
Greg Prescott.
Greg Prescott.
In stone dead last.
And that is for an avoidable contact on lap 3.
Eek.
There's a few more coming in here.
Keep an eye on it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that mention that we had earlier of Van Oosten getting hit, that is coming home to roost for car 111 of Ollie Knowles. And there's another one there for 10 seconds for car 112 for forcing a car off track as well.
That's no Deutsch.
No Deutsch down in the Porsche there.
Naughty, naughty.
So that's now 20 seconds he's carrying into his pit stop.
These.
They're coming thick and fast now.
They are, absolutely.
As it were.
Now we're just going to jump back to a replay. So we've had some contact between 10 and 164, which is Parkin and Swinkle. Ooh, Swinkles took a tap around.
Oh.
So that's an instant now. I think the stewards going to review as well.
Yeah.
And that will probably have popped up on their sheets as of a few moments ago.
It does look like it has. Because I'm sat in the log watching them watching them deal with this. Which I'm sure is entertaining for them.
Indeed. A bit of a battle forming for the GT4s. We've got Thorpe now catching on to the back of Ben Brown. Nothing much happening in GT3 class, they're reasonably spread out, so I think we've just now got to wait for this pit window to open for things to really start kicking off.
Does seem so, doesn't it?
Is that a penalty just popped up for car 21?
Yeah, that's tags the back of car 119 and costing them places. I think we might have caught the end of that there. Sure.
Potentially, and I can see the replay for it. 21,119. Is it? Nope, the replay's bricked out.
No, that's
Right,
oh, Stevie's watched the F1 now. It's fine. We can spoil it as much as we want.
Oh, cool. That's fine then. Well,
I can't believe that someone fired a bazooka at Alex Albon. That was weird.
Know, right? Sadly, no replay for that one, but we could presume something did happen there.
No, this one we did catch on there. There are penalties, further penalties inbound. They're all coming thick and fast at this point.
Oh, here is the replay, 21,119, and it is slightest of taps.
Yeah, taps the rear of the 420.
Yeah. There we go. That
sends
was
him
what
half
it
round
was.
and then bangs him sending him straight on again.
That's what it was. And that's why he's been given the finger wag.
Yep.
There's
a few closest cars on track. Angelo is on the back of Lipogensky.
Indeed he is in their training positions. I think we've just got away with that.
Has indeed. And that. And now that's Famato's got past him there, and he's off after his teammate. Now he's on this recovery drive from lap 1.
Yeah, pretty much, isn't it, really? It's definitely got pace in the Honda, but things could definitely have gone better for him, let's say.
Yep, Parkin has taken a 5-second penalty for that incident at La Source. But there's going to be a lot of guys serving a bit extra time in their pit stops.
Yes, I'm not surprised. So we'll see what happens when all these penalties do take in the pit stops, especially with the ones that have got the success penalties. That is going to be the main thing.
Just 4.5 minutes until those pits open for the GT3s. First 5 minutes will be the GT3s, and then the second 5 minutes will be the GT4s.
It will be indeed. It's a battle here, though. 10th, 11th and 12th reasonably close together.
I mean, realistically speaking, everyone's going to have to dive into the pits at their first opportunity. You can't take the risk of things getting slowed up.
You can't, no.
That Porsche behind is looking very, very skaty.
And the other Porsche's teammate as well is catching too. You may see a teammate battle coming up between those two Porsches, and also a teammate battle between these two Fear Nothing Moto McLarens.
We are starting to see a few battles forming as we get closer to the pit window. See how they're resolved after that. But it's definitely starting to pick up again. Settled for a few minutes, and now they're starting to get it going again.
Indeed they are. The gap is closing. I'm just keeping on the leaders as well. Kurbanov and Ivanov, GT3 leaders. Now within 1 second of each other, so I don't know how they're going to sort themselves out there, but what I will do is just jump back to this battle here of Oliver Knowles and Josh Rush. The first of the Prototypo Racing Porsches getting onto the back of the F&M, driving very aggressively there, a little bit of a tap. Even though the Porsche looks a little bit skatey, it's quick in the right hands. And I think we've regularly seen Knowles and Deutsch.
Yeah, Knowles coming in very late on the brakes there. Keeps it out the back of the McLaren, but it's cost him a lot of space.
British Shell, I can't believe that the Hulkenberg got the podium either. It's just insane.
Finally!
Finally! I know, his first podium. Well, for now that battle's died down, but the F&M drivers are getting closer to each other again. But I think they're realising they probably need to work together to try and get ahead of these Porsches. But one of them does go deep into what is turn 5 into turn 6.
Absolutely. These McLarens are... There's a lot of teamwork going on between the... As we colloquially put it, the esports sweats on the channel this evening.
I know.
They're all working together to try and get themselves further up that track.
They are indeed.
The Lukoil team has been peerless this evening. I mean, realistically, Ivanov is in the net lead. He doesn't need to try and overtake Kurbanov.
No, that's the thing. It'll be nice to see him fight, but I think he's just playing it smart because he's now catching the lapsed traffic.
Yeah, and next time round, these guys are going to have to look at pitting, and that will then have Kurbanov taking his success penalty. And as we expected, it's just at the end of the stint they're coming on the back of the GT4s.
This is going to hurt them. So the guys behind, depending how far back they are, you're looking down to maybe at the top 10. They're going to get to the pit entry line when the pit window opens. They may be able to dive in.
They might be able to get an undercut on the go. Let's have a look. Who's doing some quick maths and the gaps? Say probably around Petr Jelinek. Petr Jelinek, Ralph Vester.
Oh, Oliver Knowles is off.
Oh, that's a big run up on there.
Indeed it is. Oh god, F&M is around. What in the world's happened here?
That was a bit different.
A bit. There's no authorized contact between these guys. Let's see what's happened. Was there anything? There was not.
No, it looked very close through the corner there, but
I have a feeling they were just spinning by themselves.
Might have taken a bit too much curve and lost it on the exit.
Quite potentially. Pit window is now open. You see Famata and Lipozenchik both in the pits. So they've managed to get in and take their pit stops right at the start of the pit window. Taking advantage of the fact that they can get into the pit lane and pit before everyone else. And
those pits done, and neither of them carrying success penalties either.
Or penalties of any kind. Drive through for track limits 535. That's Josh Rush. P12.
Oh, that's going to make it very difficult for him. He's not. Where is he on track?
Second sector, going down through to Puon.
So he's going to have to take his drive through and then try and make it round in time to be in the window for his pit stop. He's going to be in the GT4 window.
Unless he does his pit stop now, gets it out of the way to abide by the pit stop.
And then does the drive through.
And then has to drive through. I think that's what he's going to have to do.
Either way, he is going to be dropped right back off the back of everyone.
Indeed. And the leaders are going around again.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. They should be able to make it into the pits with about 30 seconds to spare. But it's risky. If they have any kind of incident, they're going to miss their pit window.
Petr Janet's going around again. That's going to be cutting it fine.
Very much so.
What was his last lap? 2:26. He's going to have about 10 or 15 seconds to spare.
Which is doable, but any instance he has on the way out is going to absolutely destroy his race.
He's pushing it.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's going to be a track limit violation there.
Yep.
And he's got 30 seconds to serve on top of his pit stop. Everyone's coming into the pits now. What's Josh Rush going to do? And are queuing. They are absolutely nose to tail. Yeah,
That's a view.
that is a view.
It's the back end of a Porsche staring at you. It's like it's mooning you.
He's like, hurry up, I want to get going. I think he's going to have to take his pit stop. If he doesn't pull into his pit box, goes back out on track, he will get a penalty by the stewards. And it will be a disqualification if he doesn't abide by his pit window, I do believe.
Yep, that's going to That's the wrong call there. Unless the pits are all up on the Grand Prix pits, aren't they? They're not, or are they pitting on this lower section?
They're all pitting on the lower section. There's not enough of them to be pitting on the...
They might. It might be that his drive-through for car 296.
Who's that?
That is Jordan.
Oh, he's taking his pit stop. That's the right
very,
call for Josh.
Very far down the far end of the pit stop there.
But that is the right call for Josh there.
Absolutely. He had to get it done, and he's going to have to come round again, do an outlap, then go and do a drive-through as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more drive-throughs before the end of this race.
Neither would I, good sir. Neither would I.
Yep, Jordan in the pits, taking his drive-through now, just before the pit window opens for the GT4s.
That's rough. That is absolutely rough. Well, Petr Janet's going to get there, along with Ivanov, Kurbanov, and the current top three, should I say. Not the net top three, but the current top three, going to take their pit stops.
Where the race is going to be won and lost. I think it's Ivanov's to lose, realistically. Everyone around him is carrying penalties.
It is absolutely. What can Matt High do? He is about 1 minute off from the guys ahead of him. I think Gregory's going to get back out ahead of him just about.
High has taken his pit stop. Ivanov's going to beat him out. Kurbanov and Jelinek, maybe not. They've got to do their stop, and they've got to do that massive pit lane.
Ivanov, I think, missed his pit box. He rolled forward ever so slightly.
Oh no.
So he's in his pit box now, and it was 40 seconds from Matt High to Ivanov.
It could be Matt High's.
It's going to be close. It's 30 seconds without damage for a normal pit stop. Here he is. He's going down to turn one.
He's on. Where is Kurbanov in the pit? Ivanov off the jacks.
Ivanov off the jacks. Where's High?
Oh, he's going to be going past at full pelt. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very, very tight.
Here we go. We're about to find out.
High's going to get him. High has got him.
It's got him. The early pit stop has given Matt High the race lead.
5-second penalty for car 296 there for causing a collision.
10-second penalty for
10
296.
seconds. Yep. Matt High has gone through and has tugged away the lead from the Lucor cars.
Fry Guy is leading the way. Luke Oil second position. Mander's third in the Berkeley car P4. Christian Buckley right on the tail. The other Fry Guys Motorsport could be looking at making it currently a potential 1-3.
There's still a lot of time left, and we do know that the Lucor boys have a lot of pace. But that's a nearly 4.5 second gap that he's got, that Ivanov has to make up now.
We'll see the lap times when they set their first real representative laps. Last lap, can't tell last lap because last lap was an out lap for Matt High. It'll be an out lap for Ivanov as well, so their times won't be truly representative. But I can tell you their best laps of the race, respectively, Matt High 226.8, Gregory Ivanov 226 dead.
That's a big old gap. So we will see what they can do.
That was a slide for Buckley as well. That's going to cost him.
Yeah, lose a little bit of space to Manders there.
He will. Right.
High, though, has a lot of clear track ahead of him.
He does, that's the thing.
All of the GT4s are clearing out of his way now as well for their pit stops.
Indeed they are.
If he's really lucky, what will happen is a few GT4s will slot in behind him, in between him and Ivanov.
Yeah, that's the plan, I do believe. And there are GT4s coming out the pits as we speak. With who is leading GT4s after the pit stop? Daniel Tomlinson and Janetta leading the way.
Excellent. Always love to see a Janetta up front.
Johnny will be jumping with joy. Well, you can't jump at the minute, you can hop. I'm so sorry.
That's going to come back to haunt you.
That is. I'm gonna meet him at Donny when he gets there next this coming weekend.
I've never seen a commentator be given a drive-through penalty before.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, High clearing this lap traffic quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's taken time out of Ivanov.
It hasn't quite updated yet because my live time now shows 3.5 seconds. There's the gap between Ivanov and High, and that will update for you shortly.
Yeah, that's in that case. Ivanov has taken a massive chunk of time out of High.
That's no David Grains drive through track limits.
Oh, that's devastating. From P5, and there's nothing you can even do to argue that one. It's decided by the game itself.
Yup. That's going to hurt. And Josh Grush still needs to take his drive through as well.
Yeah.
In fairness, the gap between Ivanov and High has come back up to about 4 seconds now.
Yeah. So it's ebbing and flowing. But it's going to be a very... Matt High's basically got to do qualifying laps for the next 25 minutes.
Yeah. We'll get a representative and comparable lap time between these two guys as they come to the line, even though they have been through a little bit of traffic.
Yeah, that's going to cost him going around the Ginetta.
But the Ferrari behind has got to do the same thing.
Yeah. He's coming in exactly the wrong place. They're midway through. 163, that's a drive-through for track limits. That is Hoffman's in the McLaren, in the GT4 McLaren.
That's P2 in GT4 as well.
That's not the first drive-through we've seen, and I don't think it's going to be the last.
No, exactly. Last laps, Matt High 228.8, Ivanov 227.4. Gaps now down to almost 3 seconds.
Hard. Rush is doing his drive-through. 2:30 with a drive. With a drive through.
I think that's just a reminder as you come across the line. Say he's got 2 laps left to take it. Josh Rush and Hoffman's both taking their self-inflicted drive-throughs. And now is Josh coming out the pit lane.
He has cleared that drive-through down, gets back up to racing speed, but he is a long way back.
Yeah, and Hoffman's as well. Oh, painful.
Yeah.
This is miserable to see a race car go this slow.
60 miles an hour all the way down the hill. It's just agonising.
Painful.
Stevie BGT. I hope no one is on dry tyres. Cough Ben 22 Racing. Cough.
No, he hasn't.
I know. I can't tell. So
I can tell. There's a way to tell. He's on dries.
oh, for God's sake!
You can tell on a wet tyre. You can see there's like a little extra lip to the tyre.
It's stunking out there.
If you go to Swinkles, you can just about see it on the graphics. There's a line. There's like a little extra layer to the tyre.
Yeah.
Ben's put on dry tyres.
Why?
It's Ben.
This rain is not showing any signs of stopping.
No, it's not.
But he's P4 in class, so there's no dry line there. There's no. I cannot see the logic. But of course, he could very much prove me wrong. Oh, maybe not. That looks skatey.
It is skatey.
And that's.
It's just Grush punching his way through. Is that Grush? No, it's not Grush. It's just one of the higher up GT3 cars. It's 227, I think.
Ben Brown off on the outside there.
I think it was who in the world was that? That was
Stevie VGT. It wasn't Logic.
It wasn't Logic.
2:30. That's just a reminder for grammars.
Yeah.
Right, go on, Stevie. Why is he put on dries in the teeming rain?
Need to know. Questions I have a many, answers I am needing.
Other than for the laugh of it. Did someone make a bet with him? Because that's the only reason I can think of.
Yeah, likewise.
Or did he forget to change the setup selection of the pit stop?
It'll be pit strat, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That wonderful, wonderfully wonderful Muppet. Misclick on the pits.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yep. Right. Do you want a bit of an update in the lead? It's now about 3 seconds. Last lap, very similar laps between the two cars. Matt Hyde 2:26.8, personal best lap.
He is pushing hard to try and hold on to that lead.
Yeah, but Ivanov last lap 2:27.1. Currently, fastest lap at the minute is 2:25.9. On Kurbanov, as he actually is just overtaken Grains here, F&M, still needing to take a drive-through. Will have to do so at the end of this lap.
Or he's going straight to the sim bin.
Pretty much. But fastest man on track at the minute.
Yeah, well, we're not surprised by this. He was on pole. He led very, very well for the first half of the race.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he's back where he is because of the success penalty.
Yeah, spot on.
So now he's trying to find his way back through, and he's not, with the pace he's at, it's not beyond the realms of possibility either.
Oh, he's got 20 seconds to the leaders.
Yeah, he's not going to get back to the lead. Realistically, It's not going to happen.
No.
The podium, however, it's certainly possible with the pace he's setting.
Possibly. We shall see. I'm just trying to do a bit of math. 3.6 seconds to fourth. And then 5 seconds to third.
Oh, in total, yeah. It's only a second and a half in between fourth and third.
Yeah.
So it's doable. At the pace he's going, if he can close up. I mean, they're in visual range there.
They are indeed.
Looks like he's closing up a long way there. That isn't Buckley in front of him there, is it?
I think it is.
That might be Buckley.
That might be
Closing
Buckley.
him down hand over fist.
I wonder. Just go for a quick replay and see if Buckley made a mistake somewhere. I think he may have done, but that replay doesn't stretch quite far enough back to give us the answer.
He has dropped a lot of time there.
It's challenging for that podium. The gap is now about 2.5 seconds to him in third. That is a shame.
Yeah.
So we do wait to go back to live pictures. Indeed, now we do. And look at this. Karvalov's closed the gap.
Right on the back of him now. Closing down hand over fist as they go through the lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
It feels almost inevitable, doesn't it? 1.6 seconds he's taken down. A 4-second gap over the course of this lap.
Yeah, spot on.
It's a massive. A bit nervous if you're Buckley, watching him get closer and closer in the mirrors as well.
Yeah, I'd also agree with that. You don't want a charging red Ferrari in your wing mirrors.
No.
Not at all, as... Well, we will keep an eye on that battle. It is closing up again. But... Peter Genelec catching McLeod here. The McLaren that got the drive-through.
Yeah, McCullough trying to find his way back through after this race, but 11 seconds off his nearest competitor.
Indeed. And what is absolutely amazing, thank you very much for the raid. 5 viewers from the Zelensky stream. Thank you so much for the raid. Good evening. You've got about 16 minutes left of what has been a very interesting race. Pit stops are complete. Penalties have been served. And we are now seeing our pole sitter Kurbanov fight through the field, currently in 5th. Drive-throughs have been aplenty here at a wet spa. And it's just been an absolutely immense race. And another one, Deutsch!
Nick Deutsch takes a drive through down in P15. And that's going to drop him a long, long way back. That's going to drop him down right to the back of the GT3s.
How many crashes at Radion? None. We haven't had
crashes other places, but not at Radion.
We have had other crashes at other places, but it has been relatively tame. We have not had a horrible, absolute cluster of incidents, but we had a clean first lap.
They've been behaving.
They have been. I mean, I'm watch it back, good sirs.
Yeah, we're surprised at you are, don't get me wrong.
I lost a bet to my wonderful co-commentator. That's how much I was sure that there would be something happening on lap 1.
Yeah, one incident on lap 1 between 2 cars, but nothing more than that. No big clatters, no mass pile-ups. Don't know why I turned up, frankly.
Oh, that's just rude. Oh, contact!
Oh, as we're saying, that was Janet getting very much into the side of McCullough there. I'm not sure whether McCullough lost it a touch on the outside.
Oh, we're about to find out.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Good old commentator's curse. Here we are. Let's have it.
Absolutely.
Let's be having you.
So he goes through. Janet checks up.
It does.
On the curb. McCullough, no, I think
Oh,
slowed up a long way there. But but Jelinek just caught off guard and went into the side of him by the looks of it.
oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Well, the stewards looked like they were getting bored anyway.
Yeah, you've got to keep him awake. Zelensky, you have too much power.
And now Jelinek is off on his own. We'll see what results the stewards hand him there.
No, absolutely.
Well, Ivanov's taking it down to 2 seconds.
He has very limited time left.
13 minutes left, and it's a gap. It's not an insurmountable gap.
Last between the top two drivers, High, who got the jump on Ivanov in the pits. There's only a tenth separating them. Matt High 2:27.2, Gregory Ivanov 2:27.1.
Ferrari trying to overtake a McLaren at Spa. You've never seen that in a while.
No, we haven't. Tomlinson in the Ginetta, I believe I've seen that somewhere before, yes. I would absolutely understand that. He is actually currently leading, which is a good shout for the Ginetta. We didn't think the Ginetta would be leading.
He's got a good gap back to Chahabi there as well.
Let's just pay a bit of attention to the GT4s very quickly. There's a little bit of a battle for what is 7th and 8th in class. A recovering Tygo Hoffman's P2 he started. And indeed is fighting through the order. Has been a change of position, and apologies guys, we have missed it. Kurbanov, who started on the front row of the grid after a success penalty in the pit stop, has now overtaken Christian Buckley. Let's see if we can... Oh, that's not a long enough replay, annoyingly. I do apologise. Hit the wrong button. I am going to try and get a longer replay as soon as this replay finishes. See if we can watch the overtake. The move has now been done. And here we go, defending into the second sector. Side by side, they remain incredibly respectful, and Ferrari keeps it there. Gets the exit.
Nice. Gets the exit. He left him the space. Always, you have to leave her the space.
Still fighting.
Yes, side by side.
And Ferrari gets it done around the outside.
Yeah, had all the grip in the world in the track out there. Able to get it done, and now he can push on and try and get after that podium. But it has cost him time trying to get past here.
And apologies, I've picked a really long replay, so we have to wait for it to finish.
It's the longest replay on the planet, dude.
Yeah, but I wanted to get the overtake, but I had to click 60 seconds, okay? I'm sorry.
It's like everything will have happened while we were in this replay, won't it?
Tomatos dropped 2 positions for some reason. I think they've been caught up in their own little fisticuffs. It's 3 F&M drivers as well, which is hilarious. 12th, 13th and 14th, they've all played musical chairs. Just going to see if that was caused by an incident. Quite potentially, actually. Let's have a look. And indeed, it was lap traffic as well. 2-3-1, making a touch here. Was that earlier in the race?
I think that might well have been. We have seen McCullough has received a 20-second penalty. That was for diving, that incident with the 2 GT4s we saw earlier. The incident with McCullough and Jelinek has been declared a racing incident.
We'll give you a replay of that potential. Well, there's a replay of something here. I don't think it's actually quite right.
This is a replay of something. Yeah, that works for us.
Let's go to car 227 actually, and actually try to replay again, because then it might work. This is just a reminder of what happened here. There we go, and that was the incident we were just discussing.
Yep, that one has been declared a racing incident.
Interesting. Now, I'm going to try and see if this works, because there was an okay, so this was just now. Yeah. So there has been an incident between 231-111, and this was about 5 or so minutes ago, actually.
Yeah.
That's pinged up, and I think that's also been investigated.
Yeah, it's like he outbrakes and wasn't able to keep on the track. There has also been a warning to car 21 for excessive flashing. Read into that what you will.
I'm sure. we will leave that up to interpretation.
Won't we just?
Drag your mind out of the gutters there. 8.5 minutes to go. I have noticed something, Ben. That the lead gap has gone back up to 4.5 seconds.
Gone back up. Ivanov has a lot of space around him. I can only assume he's made a mistake, or he's encountered lap traffic in a bad place. Because that is because high. It was down to about and under 2 seconds, and now it's right back up into the near 5 second mark. So all that time that Ivanov had gained, he's going to have to do all over again to try and find the way past.
Yeah,
I think with time is running out on this race.
it is indeed, absolutely. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get back close to Matt Hyde to make a move.
I think they're coming on the traffic now, like they did in the at the end of the first stint, and it's going to be making it hard to get through.
Yeah, I think so as well. And there's the traffic here playing its part. That is, I believe, Martin Thorpe in the GT4 assets, backing up this little midfield pack of GT3 cars here.
Yeah, we do run GT racing rules. The onus is on the GT3s to pass safely. The GT4s are expected to hold their line and allow the move to happen. They shouldn't be defending, but they're not required to. This isn't F1. They're not required to jump out of the way at the sign of a car coming through to lap them.
No, absolutely.
They have their own race to run. It's not all competitors. They're doing their own thing. And Ford very respectful there, letting them through. It was all they could do.
Absolutely, it's made it work. Has those GT3 cars, but that's the lightest of touches there between the Porsche and the McLaren.
Getting closer and closer. McLaren holding that outside line. And they're all still having to lift the back off through that fast left-hander.
They are indeed.
420 with a drive through. That is Van Oosenen down in P12.
Just fighting here. He's dives to the pits immediately.
Yep, gets it out. He's going to get it out of the way.
Indeed. And we're still going to go side by side. Door banging is Grains and Ollie Knowles.
There was a definite touring car lean there, wasn't there?
There was. And into turn one to go. There's more contact. That was an accordion effect there, really.
That was a bit of a thump.
It was a bit of a love tap. And there's even more contact and the Porsche's off!
That's a big one. He's going right across the racing line.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's get a replay of that.
Very lucky if he didn't collect anyone else through there.
As we go into turn one, the three F&M drivers getting a bit feisty here. Now, how did this happen? Was there contact there that could have been avoided?
It's over to the right. I'm not quite sure. As if you... that threaded the needle. I'm not quite sure what was doing there. Yeah, the F&M guys were a bit brusque going through, but I'm not sure why Knowles decided to come back over to the right there. Knew the car was there. Wasn't going to disappear.
Well,
it will. Watch it one more time. They're going straight. Yeah, it just turns right.
how peculiar.
Yeah, I think that will probably be inspected.
Quite possibly. the F&M driver still fighting away as it is in the midfield, but most notably,
fighting through.
that is, however, a wiggle from the Honda.
God, you can see the speed difference between the cars
Yeah,
there,
I know.
can't you?
Honda just checks out.
Yeah. That Giannetta's left right there on the apex, and the other GT3 will have to go try and get past now before the corner.
I think he does manage to do so eventually.
Yeah, it should be able to. If you can't pull clear of a GT4 Giannetta in a straight line, you probably shouldn't be in a GT3 car.
Well, Tycho Hoffman's making a move here on Thompson for what is 7th in class. Indeed, that's move done. As a GT3 wanted to get a pass, that's one of the prototypo cars.
Yep, get up the inside. Thompson loses out there. They giving the GT3 space, but unfortunately it meant that they lost the apex there, and that's going to drop them back from Hoffman's.
Yeah, so that's kind of killed off that battle for at least a little while.
Yep. Let's have a look. I think the close one we've got. Oh yeah, oNiD's probably coming in to repair that damage from that big smash into the pit wall.
Exit stage left, wouldn't it, really?
Yeah.
Painfully slow pit stop.
It's the roll of shame down to the pits there.
Yeah, just very slightly.
That's a very banged up Porsche there.
It is indeed. And look at Matt High, however, leading the way. He's about to lap his teammate in the BMW P16. That's Van Ooselen getting out of the way. Car 21.
Drive through, and they're not going to have time to take it. It's going to be added on at the end.
That's Aidan Oak.
Oof.
And that is...
Seen more than a few of those this evening.
Yeah, that's P6 in GT4. So that's going to drop in all the way down. But what is now going to be potentially the final lap.
We did get the notification just before that the leader was going on to the final lap. It's a 2 and a bit minute lap, and they're already better part of a minute into it.
Indeed they are. So we will see this one out for what has been a very successful drive from the Fry Guys Motorsport driver Matt Hyde. I believe this will be his first race win of this season. So I do not recall him being on the top step of the podium at any other race for season 2.
Made the strategy work for him. Came in early on the pits, got the undercuts, and was able to get past both the Lucor cars in the pits.
Absolutely, undercut is immensely powerful, especially having to serve or drive through both pit lanes to get to make a pit stop. Got into clean air, we do believe. Didn't have any lapped cars around him after his pit window, and just put his foot down. That made it work for him.
Yeah. All that clear air in front of him. You can see that Ivanov is still lurking in the background there, but he's not got the time to make up this last few seconds.
I don't know. Only a few more corners to go. Fast left-hander. And it'll be one last time for this evening. Hard braking zone into the final chicane. Checkered flag will now be waving, and will be welcoming Matt High across the start finish line to finish round 7, the penultimate round of season 2. And we say congratulations, Matt High. Fry Guys Motorsport with oNiD takes the race win.
Wags the tail across the line.
Ivanov, second position there for the Lukoil Racing Esports, and the BMW goes off wide ahead of him. Manders will see the line about 13 seconds down from Ivanov in P3. Behind him, Kurbanov, the teammate Lukoil Racing Esports driver, after his success penalty, sees the checkered flag in 4th position. In the meantime, we're going to keep an eye on the GT4s for now, because we do have them still racing out on track. Aidan Oak has seen the checkered flag, couldn't service drive through, so it's automatically changed to an 80-second penalty.
That's that's going to feel bad.
Yeah, that's going
to be a long way back.
Yeah, it will be.
But Dan Tomlinson here in the oNiD Racing Ginetta. Gotta love a Ginetta winning. And he has 6 seconds back to his nearest competitor.
Indeed he has. Apologies. Just going to jump to the 2 Hondas here. They were fighting very briefly as they come into the end of the double right-hander there into the final part of the circuit. We will also just briefly watch the last of the midfield battles here for GT3. We're very well aware of where Dan Tomlinson is on circuit. Parkin has seen the checkered flag in GT3. Oh, it goes deep! I just took my eyes away for a minute.
He's been fighting for team honours, and I believe that was that McCullough who went deep there?
Potentially, indeed. As we will go down back to Daniel Tomlinson. I just did want to give a bit of attention to that final midfield battle there, but we'll say congratulations, Daniel Tomlinson will take the race win for GT4 class in the Ginetta for oNiD Racing. Congratulations. Behind him, not too far behind, will be Alex Shahibi for Connexus Motorsport. Rayshawn Thompson in the Astons, already seen the checkered flag for Apex Racing. Congratulations to him. That will be the podium position for him, and that, folks, is that.
Ralph Vest in the chat, they'll take a P7 all day long at a wet spot. Yeah, that looked like a challenging drive out there.
It did indeed, as we now just await the server to let the couple of last cars come to the window. Come to the start-finish line. I'm still thinking of pit stops there for a moment. I do apologise. As the last car does come across the line, and we will say, wow, wow, wow. What a race we have had this evening. And now we can breathe. As I think my game's just wigged out for a moment. We will wait a minute just to wait for everything to catch back up. I think the stream is just about still live. No, it's not. We will just wait for a few moments just to see if everything can catch back up. And I think we're still live. Just about. Maybe. Not entirely sure at this point. As everything has just, I think, frozen as we wait for everyone to come back. Ben, are you there? We are just going to wait for a few brief moments. We are back on stream now, and of course, it doing its own thing and deciding to throw off my computer into a little bit of a hissy fit, which is always fun. Just waiting for Discord to figure itself out. Ben, are you back with me?
Yes, I'm here. We're still here.
Good, that's fine, because that was very random.
We live, we breathe.
God, that was interesting. Yeah, just ACC doing ACC things.
It does.
Just like to have a little bit of fun every now and again, doesn't it? But
you've got to love it. It's, yeah, great racing, great strategy calls by the guys up front, and that's what we want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can now breathe for a little while, like he says, because that was.
Absolutely, we can just wait to see.
Still trying to compute a little bit, really.
Your PC's trying to compute is what it's doing.
Yeah, that's what it's trying to do. I'm trying to get the highlights so we can put it on the stream for a little while, as we can have a little chat about what happened during that race. As we will get the highlights onto the stream. There we go.
Stream's still going is the question.
It is. It should be.
Yes. It was frozen on my screen.
Oh, glorious. I certainly hope it's still going.
We're fine. We're good. It's going.
Whew. Thank goodness. As a very clean race start, as we said. Everyone getting away well as we do watch the highlights. Just to bring everyone back up to speed who joined a little bit later on in the stream. And apologies if the stream did stop there for a brief moment. I hope it is back. But But yeah, a little bit of fisticuffs at points, but nothing too serious. Everyone, as we can see here, getting through the field relatively well.
A lot of it is what you would expect from a big field on a very wet and very difficult day at Spa. But lots of great racing from all these guys, and it's what we love to see.
Indeed, and the battles did continue here on lap 2 as well. Matt High and Wigan Ivanov fighting away. One of the very earlier battles before they did come into the pits, but Matt High making use of trying to catch the leaders at that point, but this is all before the pit stop. We didn't even consider Matt High as a race winner at this point.
Completely didn't think the Aston would be a race winner. But yeah, great drive from Matt High, made that strategy work for him, timed his way through the pits perfectly, and able to come through and take that win.
Yeah, absolutely. Australia's been quite chuffed with that. And in the meanwhile, there was battles galore for the GT4s as well, and of course, sadly, Tomas Angelo in the F&M McLaren having a bit of an issue on lap 2, just spinning of his own accord really, wasn't he? And then got caught up in an incident as well with his teammate in the Honda, who also span by himself at the same point and decided to give him a nudge on the side of the track as well at the top of the hill.
Just one or two, few little incidents throughout the night, but yeah, it's never easy to get race cars round in the wet. There is an art to racing in the rain, and these guys certainly demonstrated that this evening. Yeah,
absolutely. As we do see, again, sometimes we miss these battles as well, the GT4s, which is nice to see. They had their own fantastic little battle, but I think we're about to see an incident with Swinkles as he dropped down the order. Well, he did have an incident, but then sadly ended up further down the order from what he started in P2, didn't he? So a race to forget for that McLaren.
Absolutely. It's that was a bit brusque at some of the corners there.
A bit sendy, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of these guys. I suspect a lot of these guys taking gambles on their setups. We all know what the setup market is like on Assetto Corsa Competizione, and people will try any trick they can to try and find those extra tenths of performance. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes less so.
Yeah. No, absolutely. As the wet conditions, I'm sure, brought the best out of everyone here, and I think we can safely say that even though rain can sometimes provide a challenge for most drivers, it is quite nice to see that this evening, especially, it was a rather clean night's worth of racing. The odd incident here and there, but nothing that you would expect to see at a wet Spa.
Absolutely. And people get to do it all again next week.
Indeed, the final round of the oNiD Multiclass Team Cup. Where are we? We are.
It's going to be Mazzano.
I believe it's a 90-minute race to finish it all off.
It is indeed. And to my knowledge, I'm not commentating on that one, so I hope everyone else will enjoy the end of the season.
Indeed, Tom Towsend is due to be back with me in the comms booth for the final week of Season 3 on the of this league. So a week today, we're around the off-season, so we have a bit of a jolly for a 90-minute race. Tomorrow we'll be back with Assetto Corsa. The Truck Championship kicks off the final week of Season 3, and we are oval racing.
We are going oval racing.
It's still a little bit up in the air as to what oval we're using.
Well, we put a vote out earlier. I think we are sticking with North Wilkesboro. Indeed. So it's going to be very entertaining for people, especially people with direct drive wheels, from what I'm gathering.
Oh dear Lord. Tuesday we'll see the conclusion of the oNiD Clubman Cup. Thursday, the final round of the Amateur Championship, and then Sunday we will be bringing you the final round of this Team Multiclass Cup. However, Friday night will be the oNiD Vodcast, where we will be announcing Season 3. Look out for a potential special guest as well, to be hopefully announced. Maybe I might have to have a word with Johnny about that.
Yeah, maybe you should determine that whether off the stream rather than
Hey,
teasing things you don't know. Yeah.
oh, it's in discussion. It's in discussion. I know that much. It could happen. It might not happen.
Absolutely teasing the people today.
I'm teasing the people. There is a slight possibility of a special guest. We will see what we can do. But be sure to jump on with us Friday evening. We will be also streaming the 2.4 hour race, I do believe it is, on Friday night. As we will also be commentating that in the background, having a natter as the action unfolds on the Friday night racing. So until then, folks, have a wonderful last couple of hours of your Sunday nights. Hopefully not too grumpy tomorrow, but to relieve that grumpiness and Monday morning and, well, general Monday blues, we will be back with Assetto Corsa on Twitch for the final round of the Formula Truck Championships. Ben, thank you very much for this evening. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
And folks, we will see you very, very soon. Take care, have a wonderful week, and we will no doubt see you out on track.